So I have the privilege of welcoming these amazing documentarians to talk about a film about the Philippines, Delicado. Welcome, Marty and Michael. Thank you so much for coming in the studio today.
Thanks for having us
Thank
here.
you.
So tell us, first of all, the premise of this movie. Who wants to
Delikado?
go through it?
Yeah,
Yes.
Delikado is a documentary thriller that's based in an island in the Philippines called Palawan that's known for honeymoon, vacation. It's a destination place. We've been there actually for like a wedding, and it's one of the most beautiful places. It's a World UNESCO Heritage Site. Um, Very luxurious sometimes. There's a dark side to the island that nobody was really aware of, where the rainforests are being plundered and destroyed for development purposes and tourism. And so Delicado follows a group of men called para enforcers. They go into the forests to save the trees from being destroyed.
And what was so striking about this project that made you want to do this story?
I think, we've told stories in the Philippines before. Marty's from the Philippines. But I think what really strikes me about this is this is happening all over the world. While this is, very specific to the Philippines, it's also, we're seeing this happen everywhere where land is being pillaged and destroyed. And so this is an example. And I think for us, wanting to do something about the climate change situation, wanting to do something to defend indigenous rights, this was just a way to channel all of that energy into something that we feel like can make a real difference in the world.
And it's also very timely because Kamala Harris is actually going to be visiting Palawan.
Yes.
And what do you want her to understand? Should she see this, or at least the message?
That's a good point. Our team actually got super excited, and we're starting to strategize. How can we get the vice president to see the film? We haven't brought the film to Palawan yet, but we'd like to.
What? That to me is
Yeah.
important.
We're-
Is there a challenge with bringing it to Palawan?
I think just timing. We did premiere at Cinemalaya Festival in August. We were closing night film there.
Manila.
In Manila, yeah, in the Philippines. And so we will bring it to Palawan. It's just a matter of when and what capacity. But our dream is to bring it from like barangay to barangay, like little village to every little village, and to have community screenings. But yeah, it's super exciting that our VP is going to the Philippines to visit, and specifically to Palawan.
And hopefully, you were saying that maybe you could get some attention with a connection there, right? Because she's there for military purposes, defense alliance purposes.
Right, and as Marty said, I mean, it's one of the most beautiful destinations for tourism in the world, honestly. And that's a really important part of the economy, and we don't want to downplay that, but I think it's being built as an ecotourism destination where, in fact, the government itself, some of the powers that be behind the scenes, are really destroying the environment there. So it's understanding that balance. It's understanding how to keep, that the tourism is an important part of the economy, but that there has to be real action to be taken to protect the environment that's actually drawing so many people in.
Yeah, and the film is called Delikado, which means dangerous in Tagalog, but it can also mean delicate and cautious. And it is very delicate showing the film in the Philippines because it exposes corruption, human rights violations, and Philippine politics.
Which is a very touchy subject as someone who's been a journalist in the Philippines and as well here in the United States. And that's why I felt like it's such an important message, but how can you affect change in a country that may not have the same values we have here in the United States? We can draw parallel with what's happening here in Hawaii and the indigenous fighters for the land here. But they're allowed to fight. They're allowed to speak, and they don't worry about being killed. Whereas in the Philippines, you see that people are being killed for their convictions.
Tragically, the Philippines is the #1 country in the world for land defenders being murdered or assassinated, which is is re- is crazy to me because you have Brazil and the Amazon, and you hear a lot about that happening there, and nobody really talks about your life and danger to be a land defender in the Philippines.
I think that's part of the power of this kind of storytelling is the film itself is really about people. Yes, it's about the environment and about the importance of it, but it's about people and their connection to the land and the fact that they're willing to put their lives on the line to save it. And it's just giving people that understanding that this is what's happening everywhere. And I think that is what empowers them, because then you feel a connection to them. It's not just a statistic. This many trees are being destroyed every year. It's actually people who you're connecting with on screen, whose lives are being lost, their family is being murdered.
Yeah, no, it's so compelling just from the trailer alone, and it is still being screened online. How can people watch it and access it? I know till the 27th here. Where else after
Correct.
that?
Yeah. So we're playing at the Hawaii International Film Festival. We had 2 screenings last week, and now it's the virtual component of HIF. So it's available virtually on the HIF platform until November 27. And then it's also available on PBS, and we're still playing festivals around the world.
And it's garnered a lot of great awards. Congratulations for that. Getting a lot of notice, and I think so important, timely message, especially like you said, Palawan is always on those must-visit lists that we always hear about, the best destinations. Weddings are always there. And having been there myself, I do kind of, there, how here in Hawaii, we also kind of mourn the loss of the original state of how things are due to overdevelopment. But some argue economic progress there has to be a balance with economic progress too.
Absolutely, yeah. There's actually a soundbite in the film where they say that the government wants to develop Palawan to be the Hawaii of the Philippines.
That's very striking, yeah. Poignant.
But it shows you why this is a universal story, and we'd love to invite people, while we do have some screenings online here and there, we invite people to come and bring the film to their own communities. This is, on our website, delikadofilm.com, there's a place where you can go to choose host a screening. So we've screened at the university out here the other day. We're screening at another one tomorrow. And I think that this is really resonating all over the world. So we invite people to come and bring it to their home.
Great. So if there was one thing we could do as the public after seeing this, after hearing this story, it's still thousands of miles away. What can we do to help people there?
I think one of the most important things we can do immediately that's going to really make a difference is this film follows a group of para enforcers in Palawan, and they're working on a shoestring budget. So we have a direct link where you can donate to them so that they can go out on these missions. These guys walk through the forest for days at a time barefoot and pull chainsaws out of people's hands. It's what they do, and a little bit of money for them goes a long way. So again, our website, delikadofilm.com, if you just go to the Take Action page, you can donate directly to them and empower them to go into the forest again within a few days and continue to make a difference.
That's wonderful. And thank you so much for sharing their story. I know it's not easy being a documentarian, but it's such a wonderful purpose to bring their stories to light, to the mainstream also.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you so much, Annalisa.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
oh, my
you.
gosh. So excited. So remember, Delikado, all the information on our website.